Web3. Source: CNET, Wired, Web Forum. By visualgk.com. Web3 or Web 3.0 is the term used to describe the next level of the Internet, following on from Web 1 or World Wide Web, and Web 2 or social media, and the user-generated web. Although exactly what defines a Web3 site, service, or application, is still the subject of some debate, it's generally agreed that it will be decentralized, with infrastructure that is owned by the users and creators. It will also be deeply linked to the real world, due to being built on Internet of Things or IoT technology, and to the concept of immersive, connected environments or metaverse. Core ideas of Web3. Although it's challenging to provide a rigid definition of what Web3 is, a few core principles guide its creation. Web3 is decentralized. Instead of large swathes of the Internet controlled and owned by centralized entities, ownership gets distributed amongst its builders and users. Web3 has native payments. It uses cryptocurrency for spending and sending money online, instead of relying on the outdated infrastructure of banks and payment processors. Web3 is trustless. It operates using incentives and economic mechanisms, instead of relying on trusted third parties. Web3 is permissionless. Everyone has equal access to participate in Web3, and no one gets excluded. Is Web3 related to the metaverse? Yes. Just like platforms such as Facebook and YouTube were the products of technological advances that enable data uploading and cloud storage, many believe the metaverse will be the face of blockchain technology. Facebook, turning itself into Meta, signaled its transition from a Web 2 company to one whose primary focus is in Web 3. Are there downsides? There is uncertainty over whether a true Web 3 can actually be technically achieved. Critics argue that the kind of Web 3 utopia, often described by proponents, would require the exact type of centralization that's being railed against. There are also concerns about how economically decentralized Web 3 can really be. Big venture capital firms have made huge investments in Web 3 technology. And many experts believe that these powerful companies will own the industry. Web3 limitations. Web3 has some limitations right now. Scalability. Transactions are slower on Web3, because they're decentralized. Changes to state, like a payment, need to be processed by a miner, and propagated throughout the network. UX. Interacting with Web3 applications can require extra steps, software, and education. This can be a hurdle to adoption. Accessibility. The lack of integration in modern web browsers makes Web3 less accessible to most users. Cost. Most successful decentralized applications or DApps put very small portions of their code on the blockchain, as it's expensive. Web3 in use. One example of Web3 already in practice is Filecoin, a crypto-powered storage network. Rather than storing files on cloud-based servers, where they are ultimately controlled by a handful of big tech operators, they can be distributed and encrypted on personal hard drives with spare capacity. It's like Airbnb for file storage. If you have extra space on your hard drive, you can rent it out. We think of it as the foundation for the next generation of the Internet. Marta Belcher, President, Filecoin Foundation. Please like, share and subscribe. visualgk.com